You're listening to KFWB News Talk 980. My name is Les Brown, and we come your way Monday through Friday from 2 o'clock until 4 o'clock. The mark of greatness is upon you, and we remind you constantly that you have something special. You have greatness within you. And today we're talking about coping with, dealing with negative situations and negative people. How do you handle that? What are the skills that you use? And one person I really got to talk to right now, I got to talk to Shia. Shia in Fountain Valley, she says she has a toxic mother-in-law and she uses duct tape. Come on, Shia. She's on line one. Hello, Shia. How are you?
Hi, it's Shay, but that's okay. Everybody says.
Oh, Shay? Okay, thank you, Shay. Well, Shay with the duct tape. Tell me, how do you deal with this toxic mother-in-law?
Probably revealing my secret, it might not work for me anymore because that's part of the strategy is not telling anyone because it's kind of mean. But I've used it with my kids too in certain situations where I just tell them, here, take this little special thing, put it in your pocket, and you know, if you have a scary test to take or whatever, put your hand in there and touch the little special. I've given them a little wooden animal, or you know what I mean. And with my mother-in-law, you know, for some reason, my husband still hopes for the one time that she'll be nice, and so we try to see him occasionally. And so sometimes that's what I've done is put a little piece of folded-up duct tape in my pocket and just reached in and kind of felt it and kind of imagined being able to cover her mouth with it.
Oh, my God.
Mean, you know?
Yes. That gives you some relief from it.
Yeah, and it just is a distraction, you know?
Yes.
So,
wow.
By the way, I wish I could record your laugh because I think that would really be helpful in.
Oh, so you say that might be able to help you in those tight, stressful situations. Yeah. That is really a very good technique. When I train speakers, I tell them, I said, how people live their lives is a result of the story they believe about themselves. So what I'm going to do is teach you how to become a strategic, experiential storyteller so that you distract, dispute, and inspire. You distract the person listening to you from listening to the story that's in their heads, and that as you tell your story, you systematically dispute any objections that they might have about what it is that you're selling, and then you inspire them to make some new choices. What you're doing is using duct tape as a distraction for your mind. Wouldn't it be great if I could just put this over her mouth and keep those negative words in her rather than her spewing them out on us? Yes, wow, that's good technique.
And I think she would be happier too, actually, because I don't think she loves being mean.
Yeah, but there's some people that's just the way they show up, and we have to charge it to their head and not to their heart. Listen, thank you so much.
Not take it so personally, but thanks for your show. I'm just starting to listen to it, and I really like it.
Thank you, and you're a very pleasant person, and that's a good technique, and you use that technique because a lot of people will argue and become as toxic as the person that's being toxic toward them, but obviously you're a person that realizes that it's not about being like them, it's about being who you are and find ways to stay true to yourself. Thank you so much for calling.
Laughing for me.
Yes, that's great. Thank you so much. You take care now. All right, I want to talk to Tony on line 4. Tony said negative people start off the conversations positive, and then there's something preemptive. Talk to me about this, Tony. Tell me, what is it? I want you to explain to me, how do you deal with toxic people?
You know, first, Mr. Brown, it's an honor to talk to you, but the way I deal with toxic people, I know I'm going to be in a negative situation, is I set the tone for the conversation in an extremely positive manner. And I find they go along with it. You know, if you go negative with people, they go negative. If you stay positive, they follow that lead, you know, and it really makes it an enjoyable time with even some of the most negative people, you know, because they find themselves trying to go out of the way to stay positive with you, you know?
Oh, yes. So they'll find it to be uncomfortable being negative in your presence because you've taken the lead and you've kept it on a positive track.
No, absolutely right. You know, I find people tell me that they say sometimes people are fake around me because that's not really them, but I don't know. I think most people are both positive and negative. There's two parts of everybody, you know?
Absolutely. And we can choose what we allow to dominate and control our personality and how we show up in relationships.
Absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
Wow, man, listen, thank you so much. I appreciate your calling in and sharing that, and continue to be who you are, the positive person that inspires positive behavior out of the most negative people.
Thank you. You take care. Great show.
Okay, thank you. Hey, D, I want to talk to D on line 2. Now, D in Palmdale copes with stress, 20 years of work by breathing techniques. Tell me about that. I've been using deep breathing techniques to cope with pain. Tell me, how is it that you use these breathing techniques in the workplace?
Les, you know what? You got a great show, and I give grace to God that you're able to cope with your situation, and you've been a really great speaker all these years, and I'm glad you got a show.
Thank you.
But my technique is, it's no rocket science. All it is you have to go out and get some of God's good sun, okay? You got to get up, and you got to know that the enemy is to be defeated. And nobody gets to rain on my parade. So I get up, and I'm taking 10 absolutely as deep as I can breaths when I get up in the morning. And then when I confront the hard-nosed persons, and for some reason I got like about 4 or 5 of them that just constantly call me, so they keep me instructed on what to do, and how to do it and how to approach the situation.
Right.
So, it's a constant. You have to breathe, and you have to look at the sunshine, whether it's raining or not, and you have to go within yourself, and you have to have some empathy for whatever the person is, how they are, because people are just who they are. They're human beings. They can't stop doing mean things or, good things. It's more mean than it is. It's more mean things happening than there are good things. But in order to preserve yourself, you just really have to
find ways to cope with it.
Take those breaths, and I'm telling you, it kind of takes over, and then you give a kiss to God, and for some reason, the Holy Spirit comes in and works it out for you.
Wow, that's powerful. Listen, I appreciate you calling in and sharing that. Thank you so much for calling in. Continue to listen and continue to breathe.
And continue to breathe, my friend. Thank you so much.
Okay, I appreciate you. And listen, I want to talk to you, Karen. Karen, on line 5. Listen, if you're just tuning in, we're talking about coping with toxic, negative people and situations, or loss or disappointment. How do you handle that? We talked to a young lady earlier, Connie, who had not only to deal with a toxic situation, she'd been laid off from her job, but she was also battling with an illness, and she said she just found ways every day to do something to make herself happy, to understand and appreciate that every day above ground was a good day. What do you do? How do you cope with it? The number to call is 888-539-2980. That's 888-539-2980. I want to learn your life lessons on how you are able to cope. And Karen, I'll be right back with you. The number once again is 888-539-2980. Here's why I want you to call me. Tell me, what do you do to cope with toxic, negative situations? What are the skills that you use that has allowed you to be able to handle it and not internalize it? 888-539-2980. My name is Les Brown. You're listening to KFWB News Talk 980.